One treasure today. I am going to pull three best files for the Excalibur Prime. And the last one is by far I think is the best Excalibur bio. Now, if you're down for the bios, then let's jump into them. So the first one I have no. I say that this is a actual time. This is like actual time. Now, let's say now. Let's stop here and let's just talk about how this one was made. So, Excalibur was a pre-made. There's a pre-lived Warframe ancient warrior who was okay. Just working out too. So let's go ahead and get reading ability. Go on, go on. Okay. Now on on to reading. So Excalibur is an ancient warrior who was working and killing Rainier and 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 it was rise and awakened by a presence of Grenier surrounding around him as as other people in his team, Volt and Mag. He was he was enraged of being threatened, choosing choosing to kill the Grenadier. Not even in a blink of an eye, he killed one and went on with his rampage, blinding all around him, killing them, and went on in a rage, killing all but not saving none. Okay. Now let me tell you this. Let me pause the video for a second. Let me tell you this that this is before the trailer that all three of these came out. So yeah. But anyway, after finding himself surrounded more, he seems to get annoyed and agitated to the point he didn't care. He used his javelin to hold out his ultimate blade and went on and killed each and every single enemy, even killing Captain Vor himself after chasing after him for an hour and 25 minutes. After finally catching up to him, Captain Vor received his loss when wasn't killed fully as he retreated and went back to the void. So this is a really good now this is gonna be really good at the end right here. As Excalibur defeated Captain Vor and went back into the Warframe building and went in, sacrificed himself to take upon, and went to sleep himself. Now, the reason why this is a good bio for Excalibur, not only is Excalibur is just not only is Excalibur is freaking awesome, but this is the Excalibur we are talking about. And I can't take off the armor and the scarf and even the armor thing on his leg. I can't take those off, so yeah, it kinda sucks. And not only that, his head is fat, but then it becomes this. Now, okay, back onto the story. That's exactly what. But Excalibur, um, now you mainly use it Exalted Blade, but I mean for me, I use all his abilities. But when I play as the other Excaliburs like Devil, I use Exalted Blade and Radiant Howl for the blue one, which the blue one is Offer of Light. I use Javelin and Exalted Blade and Slash for my Devil. My normal is just using every single ability. Now, unlike doing that, Mirage, some guy was making fun of me how I was only using only one ability. Is not true. That's not really true because literally, I was using Eclipse as well, but I ain't now. As far as I would say that abilities, I really don't count. Like, the buff abilities, I really don't count as much. It's just that when they actually do something to your team, that's when I count them. Or when they're actually pretty good. But I would use sleight of hands too. But the only time I would use sleight of hand would be freaking if I'm actually being surrounded and my team being surrounded. Only time I do sleight of hand. Because if you, because if you do it early, which is right, stuff failed, guys. So don't worry about that sound. But if you do it early and you actually hit some people, it's not really gonna be effective. It's just gonna kill like a little bit of people, though. But doing it in a whole army would be pretty much straight. So I play by Excalibur differently. Now, the second bio, which I am actually kind of amazed by this. I don't know how this person will manage to get this bio written without having to think twice. But if he did think twice about this, and thank God, because literally there's no way I've freaking taken a bio have a theory for a Warframe we don't have really a much explanation for. Let's go on. So, Excalibur was a searcher look running through the forest and looking for ways to escape. Okay, but he was a searcher, like I said, look for ways to escape the Grineer. As runs in the forest, he runs into Volt and Mag. Sitting beside them, holding on anger back until they get away from them. As Excalibur thought he had escaped, he only made the situation worse as the Grineer comes out and surrenders him. The Grineer captive start talking and tries to get the two Warframes to be on their team. Excalibur didn't hear a word they say as he was preparing in a whole different attack. And when he did his first attack, every Grineer starts shooting Excalibur, which Mag helps out, put her abilities over Excalibur, and Excalibur thanked her for her and begins to go on a rampage. Hours of rampage, Excalibur finds his way back, leading him to a presence of Volt and Mag getting captured. As the captive was explaining that if Excalibur didn't do this, they'll be killed. Excalibur didn't hear a thing again and strike him, but this time with a different attack, as he uses Javelin to kill all nearby and use Radiant Howl to blind them and kill the captive and others. As soon as he was about to kill another captive, which is the best captive they had, Excalibur, Mag, and Volt was stopped, leading to a fair trade of disbelief of expressions, because they would stop by another Grineer force, but this time the Sea Lab. After getting stopped, the Excalibur wanted to freaking kill the Sea Lab Grineers so that he could kill the captive, but it was taken back to the ship. As the Grineer was about to experiment on all three, they did a dumb thing and decided to let go of Excalibur since he had his weapons. Now, let me pause for a second, guys, on the reading. Where I'm reading this from is actually from people who actually have theories on Warframe, so you can literally go ahead and ask them, and like, if you want me to read them, I'll read them for you, but no, because you don't know what to read. Or if you have theories your own self, to go ahead and ask me, but alright, I can read about for you. Had a little stretch, but the reason why I stopped it is because actually the thing about Excalibur is that he don't really need his weapons. Like, you don't even need weapons. Like, shoot, facing up the Grineer, he don't even need his weapons. All he needs is also his blade, and that's it. So he's right. They are kind of dumb for that. Anyway, Excalibur raises his hand and takes out his exalted blade, javelin in place, and not only that, damage the ship. Which is, pause again, guys. I'm sorry, but man, are you serious? Come on, man. This has to be realistic right here. Damaging the ship by javelin? Thank you. You stab with javelin. You like, you know how you get the, which is, you know that sword that being stone that's named Excalibur? Literally, all you got, literally, like, whoever is worthy can pick up the sword, right? Freaking Excalibur, what he does is he slams his sword, like, pierced through the ground, cause, I mean, come on now, it's a exalted blade, look at this thing. This thing appears with anything. It's like a lightsaber, but it pierced through the ground, and it sends another Excalibur, but this time, and I say this time, because at least I know, so I know another hero, so freaking do what Excalibur do, but this time, since it shoots another Excalibur out, it shoots also. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Which is, it shoots exalted blades, but not exactly like the exalted blade you had seen when I was talking about how it pierces to the ground. So that's what he does right there. Now I seen it, but hold up. Yeah, I seen it this time. Now, if an enemy are, now here's the thing. Here's a pro tip for y'all. If an enemy is nearby, okay, if an enemy is nearby, javelin, which is it's always will be unless you're stupid and you just activate the ability for no reason, or you have a glitchy controller like mine. Now you see that, right? You see that right here. That's what I'm talking about. Now when he freaking do it, bam. Okay, never mind. You guys have bomb. No, you could die now. Now, and if I'm wondering, it's not Excalibur, the new Excaliburs. Not Devil of Light. That's just my builds, and also my favorite thing to do, if I could think of something. But my real, but the real Excaliburs are Excalibur Prime, and Excalibur Umbra. That's the event. Now Umbra is last because Excalibur Prime came out before Umbra, not after Umbra that came out. And literally, yeah, I can I can literally tell you events, but you gotta talk to me in person about that. Now anyway, damaging the ship, damaging the ship so much that Excalibur's mag and Volt has to run, get the weapons, and jump out with the cryopod leading down back to Earth. Reaching there, they was met face to face with Captain Vor, having no choice but to kill and fight with Captain Vor. They thought they managed to kill Captain Vor only when he called back up and was fled back to the void. Which is, sorry again for pausing, but Captain Vor of the key of his chest, that's a void key. So he can just literally flip. He just could flee back to back to the void with the orcans at. So literally, that's why people say that he fled back to the void after getting defeated. So, calling for backup, it wasn't a normal backup, as it was an army coming for all three of them. Excalibur, Mag, and Volt led fire and shot down and rushed the whole army, killing every single one. At the end, they went to the Tennos. They went to the Tenno pod, but they sacrificed themselves, lay to sleep, and was never awoken. So, I mean, this is a really good one. Now, the series, no, let me not lie though. This is a really good one, but my one problem with it, like, it's just a little problem with the whole thing is that, so, you're trying to tell me is that, literally, you made it realistic, but not that realistic. Uh, when you use this Exalted Blade, and when you do his first, like when you do his all of his attacks, this comes out, and that is, I mean, that is really intense light of the Exalted Blade coming out, which is a slash that can just literally pass through walls. And not only that, how come this doesn't damage the ship, but how come this don't damage the ship, but this do? I love to see that. Okay, I love to see that logic. Now, on to the best one, which is this actually includes the Excalibur and Excalibur Prime. And oh boy, this value is really long, considering of how good it is. Excalibur. Now, this starts off as regular Excalibur, and Excalibur Prime will be coming, and Excalibur is becoming again. Excalibur is the master at art of melee weaponry, seeing as if he has one of his own, and not only that, but turn it into pure intense light. Excalibur, as good as he was trusted by the Organ since he was killing so much Grenier in Corpus, which is the first biome that's Corpus in. He even killed some sentients. So after let up and killing all these people, Orkin allowed him to be transformed, but only to be mistaken, and the Orkin tricked him. Orkin tricked him and consumed him, turning him and fighting him, only to make another mistake in their lives. And that mistake was prior and made them lose many people in the Great War. As experimenting of Excalibur, they were trying to digress and trying to turn him into a ally himself. So they tried to trick his mind and also turn him and made him look like an Oregon, but only to be mistaken by a awakening of rage and a stalker like hatred. Excalibur emerges and kills almost everyone in the ship, only to be fled to only flee away in the end. Excalibur wasn't having none of it, and went into another Orcan-like structure and began to kill all nearby. Soon enough, this was purging and was just killing all Oregon. 24 hours went by, and Excalibur is still raging, looking at himself to only be just dumbfounded and confused of what happened all before. After having so much anger inside him and having so much rage let out, he got fed up with this and began searching for ways he could be back to normal, only to be captured by a group of many and what's so called the Orcan leaders. I was gonna call it Orcan leaders because it's a weird word to say, but like it's a weird word because it says leaders, but it says something else. But I'm not, and my controller keeps glitching out. But being brought back into the experiment again, they were trying their hardest not to mess up again, and trying to mess with Excalibur's brain, only to turn him back to normal, and to let out a rage, going back and, escaping back down to Earth, and was not only to be surprised by two other members of Tenno's, but to be surprised by an army of gashed, blooded, and angry soldiers of the Grineer. Now, I don't know what you mean by this, but then when I found out, he was actually meaning this. So, if I come in here, bloody gashed soldiers. So, I was like, wait, what do you mean by that? So, I was looking, and he said bloody gashed soldiers of the Grineer. I was like, oh, does he mean Kuva? And then the next part was they had millennial and army shrubs, but not too many people with red on their armor. So what the Kuva Kuva is 3 times harder than the regular Grineer, but still weaker to the double average of the Grineer. Well, not really. Let's say they're better than the Grineer because their technology is actually way better than the Grineer. They use the standard version. So, which makes him a really, really great enemy due to their actual brains being functional. So not that, but this way, but Kuva, you can just get the Orvis parts by doing the Kuva missions. And I recommend doing freaking survival, as everyone recommends. So there you go. Or defense. Oh, good. We don't really care. Or even exterminate. If I get the parts, it'd be much quicker. Sorry about that. But anyway, after killing these enemies, Excalibur found himself in the fortress, which is not Earth, and went back and went on its stealth around, finding himself in another pod and shooting out. On the way there, let's mention about Loki, which is, I'm not gonna say Loki, not talk about Loki, because, you know, this does not talk, because we're not about to talk about Loki, but Loki has, let's just talk about Loki again. Loki just finally helped out, helped us so much that he even got himself a prize of his own and went on with it. Hey, Uncle. Yeah. Okay. How about that? But Excalibur escaped in the pod and went back down onto Earth, the actual Earth, and it was followed by the two, not other than Mag and Volt. They all run for the Tenno relay as soon as they was gonna get close, getting stopped by a whole army that was forced to have to take on blood, flesh, and gushing of guts, which is actually disgusting detail but nice and cool one. Fighting on the way through, Volt makes his way, and Volt makes his way through as he was fighting all near Mag. Mag fight her way through and begins to struggle as she used her abilities and magnetize everyone.